Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to more of your favorite visual novel. As I said so, it's Love Bakudan. Here we are. The following day came without interruption. Without interruption, I say. Okay. I was awake first, of course, because it was so cute. Getting to see Himiko so content, and also getting to eyeball the contract, too. Himiko was so beautiful. Now remember, last episode we got screwed over by the contest when people were holding the contest. But as it turns out, their rival company happened to be in the hotel lobby we were staying at, and they kind of poached her. So here's hoping that they go for it. He had to pass it by the execs or whatever, but it's seeming pretty good. Her body was gorgeous, and her soul was even more so. Even just sleeping, her perfect porcelain skin, those gorgeous dark eyes. There was nothing about her that I didn't find myself falling more in love with each day. And here at the hotel, that had only been something that had grown in intensity all the more. The warm light of the morning, Himiko rested her head on my arm. I've been feeling pretty sexually satisfied, to say the least. We've not really stopped since we've been able to relax a little more. And somehow sex in the hotel just felt even better. The last night, knowing she was going to be meeting up with Kumiko the next day, she was definitely way too nervous to do anything. So we have to do what she does best, to watch some kick-ass action movies and cuddle up in bed until we fell asleep. Turning against my arm as I looked at her, I smiled as her eyes began to adjust to me. Hey there. Good morning, Haruka. A weird. Not sure what that is. Oh well. Maybe it's just this music. Did you get a good sleep? Very, actually. I don't even remember falling asleep. I laughed as Himiko sat up along with me in bed and ran a hand through my hair. I can't believe we're back here so soon. Hey, I can. I knew you'd get the gig, Oh, Haruka, I couldn't have done it without you, though, Oh, wait, did she get the gig for sure? I can draw as much as I want, but without a top-class writer. Aw, shucks. You're just saying that because I think you're hot. Hey, I am not hot. Himiko smiled at me warmly as she turned to look at the hotel clock with a sense of trepidation about her. We'd woken up kind of late. It was around 10:50. She bit her lip. I guess I should wait for the call from Kumiko-san. Don't worry. She sounded so impressed with your stuff, I think it'd be more surprising than any kind of rejection if you ask me. Didn't she ask you outright herself? Come on, believe in yourself more. Kumiko sighed and grabbed her glasses. She did, but what if... Oh my god. Phone began to ring. Hello? Russ? Okay, I'll be right down. I knew immediately who it was. Front desk, huh? Kumiko's here. I swallowed down the nervous lumps inside my throat and took a quiet, subtle breath of studying myself, too. Even though I said that to Himiko before, I couldn't help but feel a little nervous. This was a big deal, after all. Okay, let's get ready and go meet her. Right. As Himiko and I reluctantly parted from each other's bodies so abruptly first thing in the morning, we got dressed to rush downstairs towards the front desk. Hang on once. Okay. Very late for me, so if I sound tired, it's because I am. I got another job, so I'm working a lot of it. I'm working like 60 plus hours this week, and yeah, this is like almost midnight. It's the only time I have. It's the only time I have off, because I literally go from like 8:30 in the morning to like 11 o'clock at night. It really sucks, but yeah. Is what it is. You gotta do what you have to do sometimes. Ah, there she is. Eek. Kumiko smiled earnestly at the two of us as we approached, and without a word from her bright, smiling lips, she pulled out a new signable contract from her handbag. The contract! Ah! Kumiko could have let out a shriek without embarrassing herself. I think it would have pierced through the heavens. Damn, she was so happy. Kimiko was so happy too. Everyone's so happy. Cute Nintendo Capri Suns, so happy. Witnessing firsthand that she'd been able to make someone's dream come true. Welcome aboard, Himiko. Ah! With a smile on her face, Kimiko ruffled around in her bag briefly before pulling out a small stack of papers clipped together with a black binder. Kimiko's eyes adjusted to the words on the page from behind her glasses before she gasped and looked up at Kimiko. You really have our lawyer looking over. You're really offering me a place? Of course, I had no doubt from the beginning, but your manga was truly something else, Himiko. It was an amazing read. Now, can you imagine if she took that first deal? She wouldn't have even had the rights to her own work anymore. Awful. And that's probably not very uncommon in that industry. I don't know. I know I'm not in that industry, but I'd imagine that is something that probably happens quite a bit. Oh yeah? What'd you like best about it? Haruka? Himiko smiles at my knowing, goading smile. I knew exactly what I was trying to do. Build up Himiko's confidence a little more. Oh yes. The sex, the explosions, the robots. It was just a recipe for perfection, really. You really outdid yourself. Well done, honestly. I mean, how could you say we outdid ourselves when you don't know what we did earlier? But I'll take it. Himiko blushed as though she was going to fall through the earth and shuffled in her place with a squirm. I could see that her hands were trembling as she held the contract in them too. I grinned brightly as she remained stuck in one place, looking over the words of the page endlessly and taking none of them in. I laughed as I placed my hands on her shoulder, and Himiko jumped as she snapped out of her stupor. She was all ready to sign it with an extra enthusiastic scribble of her name, until I pointed out that she should probably retain the important information she was actually looking at. Whoops. She's right, you know. You should keep this one. She's got a good head for business. Himiko blushed as she could practically hear the joke I wanted to make through my subtle wink and stared profusely down at the page. Sorry. You're so silly. Here, let me help. I illustrated just what she needed to know by explaining the paragraphs on the page to her in quick succession, just as I'd done the night before. And Himiko finally began to understand what they were saying. For the time being, it sounded like they'd sign her up for at least 10 volumes worth of story, which was a fantastic boon for a budding manga artist like Himiko. Think about it. You know, you get your work published in, a major publication, you get your name out there if nothing else, so, that's pretty good. This meant that she'd always be involved in her work, and she'd always get to keep the rights to her story. Naturally, Wildline took a cut, of course, but their deal was considerably better than Soju Leap. Fuck those guys. And one more there. Done. Rightly announcing that she'd finally finished up with the contract, you could feel the palpable energies of positivity just flowing throughout the hotel lobby. As Kimiko took back the paper, Himiko grinned from ear to ear. Okay, we're all sorted then. Oh my god, it's finally happening! Congratulations, sweetheart, you earned it. You really earned it. She's right, the chapters you showed me were remarkable. Himiko blushed in amazement at the compliment. Really? Yes, really, we'd love to have you on board. I don't know what to say, Kimiko. Don't worry about it, just make it a success and Wildline will thank you more than enough. This is your last day here, is it? Yeah, it is actually. We'll be checking out this afternoon. I see. Well, in the future, just mail your chapters from wherever you live, Himiko. We can work something out, but all of us at Wildline were in unanimous agreement. We'd love to have you on board for serialization. Not to be confused with sterilization. Himiko looked as though she was going to burst over with a set of prideful tears and nodded as she beamed her way through the overwhelming emotions. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kimiko. You have no idea what this means to me. That's alright, darling. Just don't fall behind on your deadlines, okay? Yeah, deadlines. Okay, yes ma'am, you got it. And with a bright, affectionate smile, Kimiko began to head off towards the door. Goodbye, ladies. Be good. Kimiko waved at us and left through the same entrance she appeared from. Kimiko and I stood for a moment in total disbelief of what had just happened. We knew it was coming, but... Haruka! To actually see someone's dream come true before your eyes, someone you love, too, there was no better feeling than that. Really. Happy? Very. Oh, Haruka, I'm so happy. Throwing her arms around me as the two of us giggled, it felt so good to hold her. All of our effort had culminated to this one single moment. And getting to kiss her afterwards was such a wonderful feeling. Now, can you imagine if we didn't go to the hotel at that time, and we missed her? None of this would have happened. It would have been awful. Sometimes things just have their own way of working out. As I stood with my face blushing and Himiko's hands slowly coiling around my own, she continued holding the Wild Lion business card in another, smiling brightly right at me. I love you too, Himiko, more than you could ever know. Oh. Himiko's smile went from a big smile to an even bigger one. It made me so happy to see her flourish like this. With a seemingly permanent smile plastered on our faces at one another, Himiko turned to me and said, Haruka? Yeah? Sorry. Now that we've achieved what we both set out on this journey to do, let's go home together too. Okay? And I knew from that point onwards that Himiko Kurosu had not only made my life a blessing to live, but it also helped to do the very same for her. She really was so much more confident now and so much more outspoken, sure of herself and full of life than she'd been before. We both made each other happy, and the chemistry between us was incredible. I'd never felt so lucky. None all my life. Holding her hand tightly around my own with a smile, we began to walk out of the ritzy Tokyo hotel restaurant and back upstairs to the hotel room. We weren't going back up there to just kiss some more, but pack up all our stuff too, because now we were going home. Himiko was right. We really had achieved what we set out to do. We'd achieved it together. I felt such pride when I thought about that. After everything that had happened, as though I wasn't already sure before, I knew now without a shadow of a doubt that if Himiko and I could overcome so much adversity together, and we could have such a strong physical connection, not just built on sex, but built on love too. The sex is good, but love is better. Then we were always going to live happily ever after in our own special way. I had truly fallen head over heels in love with Himiko Kurosu. With Himiko's oncoming success in the manga world and mine as the heiress to the erotic bookstore that my grandma had left me, we couldn't really have asked for better. Life was rosy. She was perfect. It was just such a wonderful experience to be alive. I never felt anything like it. I had all the things I wanted in the world, and that was always going to be enough. As Himiko's lips pressed themselves to mine in a full, loving kiss that turned me on so much more than any erotica book ever could, I knew one thing was for sure. I'd found my very own love story in all this, and it was one that was even better than all the erotica the world had to offer. Aww. Is that it? Gotta be it, right? Epilogue. Do we have time? Yes, we do. 2 months had gone by since all that happened, and for me and Himiko, life couldn't be looking brighter. It was amazing just how much could happen in such a short amount of time. As we expected, Himiko got a call from Kumiko, and pretty much on the phone, she was confirmed to be signed up as an artist for Wild Lion magazine. They'd received her contract and were perfectly happy with all the details. She'd been signed to a bona fide publication now, and that meant she was garnering fans. At first, I think it was super overwhelming to her, but gradually over time, she grew to love the appreciation, and I'd never seen her work harder than that. Lately, it was like the whole world had collaborated to put a smile on this beautiful girl's face. Getting to see her like that, well, honestly, that was more than enough of a reward for me. I couldn't believe everything that had happened, really. Even as the two of us stood there together in my bedroom as though nothing at all had happened back then. Still couldn't wrap my head around it. What are you thinking about, How damn cute you are. Hey, after seeing how it was all still playing out, I wonder just how that soulmate quiz had gotten it so right. Because as of right now, I went without saying that I felt like I'd found the one for me. So, birthday girl. Aw, it's her birthday. You excited for tonight? Very. I really can't believe it's happening. We had such a wonderful day, too. Those action movies at the cinema were so cool. Oh, speaking of action movies, very soon we're going to see the new Mortal Kombat movie. It comes out on Friday. So excited. But none of that doesn't really matter to the story, but thought I'd say it. Hey, I had a feeling you'd enjoy them. Who knew Super Ultra Robo Max Ultra Super? That's a name. Would actually be good. Dude, I saw the new Godzilla vs. Kong movie the other day. That movie was awesome. Like the human parts in those movies are usually pretty bad, but no one cares about that, right? The monster fights are where it's at, and they deliver. Himiko beamed as she stood before me and wrung her hands together as she shook her head. I really can't believe it, you know? My first birthday party! I will party to the fullest. Happy first birthday, sweetheart. Hey, I'm not a baby. I am really excited though, Haruka. Thanks for putting it together for me. What would I do without you in my life? And that's something you'll never have to know. Good. Today, as I'm sure you can gather, marked the advent of something particularly important indeed. An occasion so rare, so special, and so sought after, that I just had to do something for it. And that's something, well, let me tell you. Today was Himiko's Kurosu's birthday. I'm a little nervous. Hey, don't be nervous, you're gonna have a ball. Yeah, but still, I can't help it. You really are cute. Haruka. As I giggled whilst Himiko buried her face in my neck, I was really excited for her too. I had a little surprise waiting for her downstairs, so it was nice to think that she'd get the full birthday girl treatment from me. We'd done with the Bakudan Books with a little bit of celebratory cheer. It was a low-key affair because that's what a certain someone wanted. But she was very excited when I brought up the prospect of inviting people over. It was so adorable. She was just adorable through and through. I couldn't believe how happy she was these days, and it warmed my heart. After a few more moments of playing around and sporadically placed kisses on the lips, Himiko and I walked down the stairs to the empty bookstore. Feels so weird when it's empty, doesn't it? Definitely. I feel like there should be at least one watchfly looking at what I'm doing, you know? Usually a grandma trying to see if she can ask for more recommendations. Himiko chuckled as she held my hand and looked up at the time. It's... Surprise! Ah! Ow. Haruka, I'm sorry. I was sleeping out of her skin and whacking me by accident as she stumbled backwards. Everybody that was a regular Bakudan Books had made an appearance, which meant a lot of important people in my life had too. Hey, happy birthday, Himiko! Happy birthday, Himiko. Happy birthday, girlie. Hope you had a swell day and that you don't have any more heart attacks. Here's another year of being lecherous by the manga stand, eh? Happy birthday! Everyone. Himiko looked at me with a pair of uncertain but bright eyes and smiled when I kissed her on the forehead. Happy birthday, sweetheart. I love you. Haruka. Promised I wouldn't cry. Ooh, Haruka, you had all these people scared the life out of me. Well, we had to be here for the biggest manga fanatic Akiyama's ever known. And the most successful, too. Ooh, you're all saying the same thing. This is our final form. Yikes. Happy birthday, Himiko, here. Eh? Oh, you guys didn't have to. Yuki pulled out a small, compact box from her pocket and handed it to her. Sai, too, followed suit, as did Akane and the grannies. I grinned knowingly, and Himiko looked at me curiously. What? Oh. You're just spoiling me so much, Haruka. And that's because you wouldn't tell me what you wanted for your birthday, silly. I had to do something. Here you go. And from us, too. Here's a little something for me as well. As Himiko's arms were laden down with gifts, I chuckled and pulled out my own, too, from inside my pocket. This one's from me. I wondered just how she'd react to this. I have a feeling what it is. As we stood here in Bakudan Books, I was taken back to when Himiko had first told me of her situation with birthdays. It was about a month after we got back from the visit to Tokyo. So much had happened during that time that I couldn't quite wrap my head around it. Himiko was getting to be truly successful mangaka. It started writing a little more, and Bakudan Books was flourishing. We really had it made, to be honest. It felt amazing. I remember when I changed the calendar in Himiko's bedroom to say September. Somehow she looked a little morose. What's up, Himiko? You look kind of glum. Well, I don't know. It makes me feel kind of silly. September makes me feel a little gloomy, I guess. I waited for Himiko to tell me more about why, but she just kind of trailed off and continued to line some of her artwork. Her raised an eyebrow was very unlike her these days, especially to ever be gloomy at all. Why's that? It's my birthday next month, and I don't really like to think about it. Your birthday? It's the 29th, right? Hey, why are you so surprised? You know my birthday, right? Of course I do, it's the 1st of March. Well then, why would I ever forget my girlfriend's birthday, huh? Himiko smiled meekly, and I looked over at her with a curious gaze. What was going on? Haruka, I really do love you. Oh. You're the only one in all my life that's ever treated me with any respect or value. Himiko? Even without her saying a word more, I had a feeling it would come back to her parents. Your parents forgot, didn't they? Yeah, as I got older especially. I never had a party or a cake, really. You've never had a cake? Oh. Himiko closed her eyes in shame. I felt so angry every time the mention of her shitty parents came up. Well, you know something? You're my girl now, and that means you're gonna get the best birthday ever. Haruka? I beamed at her as she looked at me in surprise, and I sat down next to her on the soft cushions of the floor. So, what do you want for your birthday? You can pick anything you like. Want some time to think about it? Himiko smiled, a cheeky, blushing smile as she looked at me, and nodded quietly to herself. Yes, just let me have a think about it. I'll make sure it's a good one, it's a promise. I felt a sudden spike of horny rush through me as she said that, but honestly, that wasn't uncommon with Himiko around. I laughed as she smiled even further, seemingly returned to her good mood and resolved, then and there, that I was going to give her the time of her life. Back here in Bakudan Books, the party was in full swing and everyone was having a great time. The gifts Himiko had received varied in both quality and thought. Akane had bought her a set of art supplies, which was always going to be pretty useful to her. Sei, despite not knowing too much about Himiko, really had tried her best and had bought her another black turtleneck to match her current one. That's cute. Yuki had bought her a new pair of lenses, as she remembered Himiko complaining about her old ones always get fogged up easily now. And the grandmas had brought her probably the most surprising gift of all. 3 copies of an old manga Himiko was always dying to read. Oh, and here's a special thing that every girl needs at her party. Before Sei comes out with it, I'm talking about cake, not strippers. Aw, still my thunder, why don't you? With a few laughs across the room, Himiko shuffled forwards as I placed the cake down on the counter. And her eyes glimmered at me in the candlelight. I honestly felt like I'd fallen in love all over again. Happy birthday, Himiko. Haruka? Thank you. And just with that, Himiko blew out her candles and kissed me on the lips. Those 2 lovebirds, honestly. Aw, I'm gonna tear up. Hey, stop that, you 2. Ooh, man, that cake looks tasty. Is everyone wanting it to go? I remember Yuki asked for it in a bag, but sure, that's fine by me. Yeah, sounds great to me. I'll eat it back home. We have already devoured our pieces. I blinked looking down at the cake, and it was true. 3 pieces were already missing. Damn, this was their final form. What the hell? Ah, I'm so happy. Such an earnest outburst. My heart sang. Maybe that was the murmur, but it sang regardless. Himiko. He's cute. Aw, Himiko, you're a peach, aren't you? As Sei beamed, she rushed over to the speaker set I brought down earlier from Grandma's old room upstairs. Blaring some songs, she pumped her fists in the air. Yes, let's party the night away, woo! And Sei, of course, turned up the music full blast. Everybody, including the grandmas, began to dance along with the beat. Himiko was smiling so brightly that it was almost blinding. She was shining right now, flourishing under the new experience. And above all else, I could see that she felt loved beyond compare. I was relieved. That was always what I set out to do. I felt like that since being with her, she made me feel a little more introspective about my own feelings, too. So, to get to repay her with my personified happiness, well, there's nothing better than that. Yuki and Akane were all having a great time. There had been some latecomers to Himiko's birthday, too. It wasn't just us. She made many friends and acquaintances along the way to her successes. That only meant that she was always going to be in good company. Hey Yuki, come on, dance properly with me. I am dancing properly. Want a refill, Grandma? You're looking all danced out. Yes, please. Oh, jeez. Haruka wandered over towards me from her guests as I stood behind the counter, sorting out the big chocolate's birthday cake for a certain someone. Himiko wrapped her arms around my neck and smiled up at me. I could feel the tremble of delight rushing through her body and smell the warm, comfortable scent of her perfume wafted right over to me. It makes me so happy, you know. To see you having a good time. You always deserve it. I stroked a strand of her hair behind her ear, and Himiko's face was so warm. God damn, she really was so cute. It was like looking at a bunny or something. Haruka, I really am always happiest when I'm with you. Himiko? I could see that above the bright, gorgeous grin on her face. She was blushing like crazy. Himiko? I recognize that look. You know something? I've been thinking a lot about what you said about my birthday present from you. Ah, I know what I want. Bringing herself close to me and twirling my chain around her fingertips, I began to feel a hot heat prickle up my neck. Man, this changed when she got horny. I couldn't stand it in the best way. You want to take this somewhere a little more private? I don't think I can get this gift from you in public, really. Unless you're more into that than you let on. Holy shit. What was this gonna be? I blinked twice as Himiko let go of my hand to bite her thumb a little, and I was amazed by just how fast she'd switched. You don't need a minute? A minute, Haruka? Isn't this the best way to celebrate my special day? Oh shit. I inhaled a tight breath around my body, and Himiko grinned wider at me. She recognized just how I was feeling. We hadn't been able to do it for one whole day, and already we were both besides ourselves. Even after something so monumentally successful as this, she still only thought about sex? Damn. What a woman. Hearing you talk like that, we're going upstairs. Himiko called out over the music, and only Akane heard, looking at us with a surprised expression first. Himiko? Whoa. Fine, let everyone know we can let ourselves out, eh? Thank you. Ha! Whoa. Turning back to look at me with a new confident smile, Himiko shuffled up against me as she took my hand and began to whisper in my ear. I was dying already. I feel considerably better and less nervous now. So, I want you to let me sit on your face. Oh, whoa. Oh my god. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but in the best way possible. Yes, let's go. Good. My knees buckled as she whispered before she laughed and took me by the hand properly this time. I made sure to turn off adult content, which is where we get those fun censors. And without a word more, the two of us raced towards the stairs of Bakudan Books, knowing full well that this party was over for us, and clambered up the stairs over the beat of the music. As we lay together in the dark with her head resting on my arm, breathing softly against the skin of my collarbone, I knew that I'd fallen head over heels in love with her. The future was so unbelievably exciting, thinking about how she'd gotten Wild Line on her side, and on top of that, the sexual appetite like this, holy shit, I was never going to go unsatisfied. Between love and affection, of course, sexual intensity, felt like I'd won the lottery when it came to girls. I was a very, very lucky lady. I never wanted to be apart from her, and hey, with that line of thinking, maybe one day we'd even get married. Knew what that future held. But one thing I did know for sure was that I was the most grateful I could ever possibly be when it came to Himiko Kurosu, and I was going to spend forever showing her just how much. Yay! We did it! We beat the game! How successful of a businesswoman was Haruka doing her adventure? Let's find out. Haruka sold tons of books and ushered Bakudan Books into total prosperity. Nicely done. Yeah. Yay, we did it! We won the game. Well, everyone, that was Love Bakudan. I hope you enjoyed it. I love that. That was a great little game. I really like that. I won't be doing any more routes. I'm just kind of like a one and done kind of thing usually, unless I really like the game. But yeah, be on the lookout. I have a new Let's Play in store that I think you guys will really love. It's a game I've actually played before for the channel. But due to circumstances, I had to remove it. But now, I found a little way around it, so we'll see how that goes. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'll see you all next time, and have a good day.